And before I get too much further, let's see if I can get all the brown out of this. I'm gonna have to wash all my makeup tools. That's okay, probably needs it. I really want to do like a little bit of shading on her eyes, and I've got 2 different types of blues that I could do that with, and I think I'm gonna do that using this lightest one. And I'm going to pick it up with this small shader brush. And get it, basically just get it on there, and then maybe go in a little bit with that dark blue. And that's kind of something. And then I'm gonna try to do a wet application with the dark blue. See. That's actually a little bit better. And I'm just going to keep going back to the hairspray when I need it. And hopefully I can kind of build up the colors that I want. So I will zoom in. And I either want to use this really pretty copper, or I want to use this not as pretty gold. I think I'm going to go with the not as pretty gold, and then maybe go into the copper. And let's see how this looks. Oh, it is super duper faint. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an all over layer like that. I don't even know. Yeah, you guys can kind of see it. I'm going to do an all over layer like that, trying to leave some highlight. Then I'm going to wet my brush and go into it and try to get a darker layer. So wetting that gold actually worked a lot better than I expected to. I am going to give this a chance to dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and spray it again with hairspray. But first I'm going to try and maybe do another layer of lip color, lip stain on her lips, and try not to get out of bounds and fail somewhat, you know, like you do. All right, so gonna let that dry. All right, so it seems like my hairspray has had a chance to dry, and I'm actually going to try to go into the skin and maybe do a little bit of definition, and we'll see how well that works. I don't exactly have high hopes, but I do want to try, and I don't know if I really want to use this. It has some like, what's the word I'm looking for, matte colors in it, and I think the matte colors are probably better for skin shading, but let's actually try the brow stuff instead. So and it seems like I don't want to work it too much because it's going to mess up the color I had down before. Which is the kind of problem I had actually over on this eyebrow. So even though I used hairspray to sort of seal it, it didn't do a perfect job, which isn't all that surprising considering it's just hairspray. Well, I want to be careful about that and maybe try to blend that out. And if I have learned one thing from this project, it is that makeup is really, or rather Dollar Tree makeup. I can't even speak to like nicer makeups, only Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree makeup is not really intended for this purpose. All right, so that was brow powder. Trying to blow the excess away. And then I really don't like messing with this stuff too much. But I'm going to try. It's just like sticky and kind of goopy and just not really easy. Oh yeah, not easy to work with at all. I also don't have like a very good way to kind of apply it, so that's definitely been one of the major struggles with this challenge, is like I can't tell if it is the materials I'm using that are a real problem, or if it's what I'm applying them with, or if it's the fact that, you know, makeup really isn't intended to be used on paper, and it's really not intended to be used as an art supply. So there's so many variables with this project that could explain why. Kind of mixing this like heavier coverage cream with that brow powder to get a bit of a shadow. We'll see. It's kind of working, which is neat. And I was just using a regular old Q-tip for that, and I really didn't think I got her blush as deep as I wanted. So I'm going to grab this palette here and use, let's see, both of those ends are dirty. Do I have any clean Q-tips? I do! Grab some of this kind of baby pink. Actually, I could even go in and add some definition to her lips. Now I really feel like, since I'm doing a makeup challenge, I really feel like I have to do her makeup well, which is kind of funny because I don't even really know how to do my own makeup well. So this is some Rock Candy or Hard Candy palette from Walmart. So I'm gonna try to at least give her some eye makeup. And then pull a darker color. Okay, that really gobbed on. So let's see if I can, and my hands are so shimmery, it's going to drive me nuts because I have also been doing a little bit of watercolor painting on Cara pages tonight. So it's like, oh no, please. No, not on my hands. And then maybe one of these softer pinks on her cheeks. And something else really interesting about this challenge for me is how much the makeup, how hard it is to blend. I don't know if it's because I'm using cheap makeup or maybe I'm just like really bad at makeup, but I am having a really hard time getting it to blend, so that's interesting as well. All right, so I want to try using this sort of coppery color right here, and I'm going to, I don't want to ruin it because I actually really love the colors in that palette, so, and that's from my actual makeup collection rather than my For This Challenge makeup collection. So I'm going to try to use it sparingly, and I would prefer not to have to wet. Oh wow, it's already got really good coverage. Like you can, I feel like you can, and this is a damp brush. This is the brush that I had applied the cheaper gold with from Dollar Tree, and it's still damp, but it's not wet, and I'm already getting like way better coverage. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting that filled in. Paula Dorf palette is actually got some really, really nice shimmer metallic in it. And it did have a little bit of water in it. It's a little bit of a damp application, but it really took to that water. So, I'm looking for something because I kind of want to give her green eyes. And I'm looking for something I can apply it with that will be small enough. Maybe I can use this because I have the green in that Paula Dorf palette, and it's really a nice color. Let's hope it doesn't, it's gonna get everywhere, isn't it, guys? Okay. I'm gonna grab some Q-tips. All right, let's try that again. And then with a little bit of water. Wow. Yeah, this nicer palette, really. And it's not necessarily so much easier to work with, it's just that the colors are more intense, so it's a little bit easier for me to build up the colors that I'm looking for. All right. And, maybe I can use a damp shader brush. Right now there's so much caked onto it, I don't necessarily want to disturb it. But use a damp shader brush and grab some of that coppery color and maybe start filling in her eyebrows. We'll see, because not all of these respond well to different brushes, so that seems to respond decently well. And then I don't know where I was going for there. Maybe trying to tighten up those lines. So right now, everything is kind of the same opacity. Well, not, yeah, I guess even that. The same opacity, the same tonal value because I'm having trouble developing darker colors. I'm going to grab this blue-green. It's really more of a blue than a blue-green, but grab some of that and maybe, ooh. As it mixes, it actually turns into a really pretty color. Go with that. And then maybe use the shader brush, this one here. And I want a darker brown, and I kind of don't want to rely too much on that Paula Dorf palette just because it works really well, but I didn't buy it for this. And I kind of want to use one of these two colors. Maybe I'll start with this one to do some shading on her hair using a shader brush. And then I may go ahead and spray this down with hairspray so it doesn't go anywhere. All right, so I'm going to work on that. I feel that I need to disclaim or exclaim to you guys that I don't really know a whole lot about makeup. I hope I have not given you the impression that I do, because I do not. I do not, in fact. But I can already tell that the Baked Paula Deen eyeshadows are really nice, and they have really nice saturation. And I say this as someone who did try to know a lot about makeup. There was a phase where I was very into it, and I had a lot of NYX. I still have a lot of NYX, and I got talked into buying a lot of Sephora stuff, and I had some of the Bare, or I still do have some of the Bare Mineral stuff, and all of it gives me a terrible allergic reaction if I put it anywhere near my eyes. So I kind of quit wearing makeup for the most part, because who wants to have a wonderful eye swelling reaction? Nobody. But I also sort of feel like for a casual makeup wearer who is going to have an allergic reaction to Bare Minerals or to Sephora, you know, it's probably not worth the cost. So I just don't wear it. So I no longer like indulge. Okay, I'm not one of those people who's going to have like that big naked palette that is super popular. Mostly because it's still going to give me an allergic reaction regardless. So, like some of you, come on. Okay, whatever. Whatever. You don't want to? That's fine. That's fine. That's why I bought eyeliners. But I'm sure a few of you guys are probably really rolling your eyes like, gee whiz, how dumb is she? And like, literally, I am the answer, so dumb. Because I'm not really a makeup person. I am a comic artist with some experience with fine art materials, with a fair bit actually, considering I review watercolors all the time and markers, but those aren't really fine art supplies because they're not archival. All right, going in again with that blue-green, and I think it would behoove me to seal this soon, but I do want to maybe use some of these pinks and add maybe some definition to her lips. So we're gonna zoomity zoom. That almost took away some of the definition I had already put in. And then grab the lighter pink, kind of dab it in there, and then use the darker red. And then maybe blend it out. Oh, these are CoverGirl, they're not ELF. Never mind. Okay, hopefully that dries like, you know, kind of normal looking and not just like horrifically weird. And I'm going to grab some of that dark coppery brown and maybe do a little definition or attempt. Oh no. No. Oh well. I tried. Give me the gold medal for trying. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to go spray that down. And I think we are at the portion of the evening where I should start doing the definition with the eye pencils. But I really want more pink on her cheeks. And that is that not going to happen? Are we just not going to get this? I'm sorry if I am. There we go. That's a little bit better. Kind of belaboring her poor skin. It has been a true trial. All right. And then we let that dry. And I'm gonna go spray it down and let that dry as well. All right, so I think we're finally hitting that end portion of the evening, which is exciting. I'm happy that we are finally reaching that finish line. And I have an Bonnabelle Eye Define pencil in the color Ocean that I'm just going to sort of use to help better define her lines, her eyes, sorry. And it really puts down, I should have grabbed, I guess I would have, if I saw there was a white one, there wasn't any. Because I kind of was looking for any color that might be interesting. But that's okay. We'll figure this out. Anyway, these are very, 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 very soft, obviously. They are eye pencils. And somehow I picked up some schmutz. I'm not super sure how. So I not only have those things, but I also have some liquid eyeliner, which I thought will probably be the hardest thing in the entire world to use. But I thought it might make for some interesting line art as well. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm using Ocean, that's this color here, to add a little bit of shadow. Well, it really doesn't want to go down over here. And then I am going to use, I've got this sort of skin tony color. It's a brow thing, brow pencil in blonde. I'm actually gonna, and she's a blonde, so it's perfect. Not using the little spoolie end, but I am going to use this to sort of define her skin a little bit better. And the pencils are actually a lot of fun. I can't imagine sketching your piece with these. So those of you who did that, you are the true heroes of today. Not me. I don't deserve those accolades. But for those of you who sketched in your makeup challenge with any real makeup supply and not a pencil, which is what I use because I knew this would smear all over the place, and I'm not the sort of artist who can just start sketching with whatever media she's using. I need to kind of at least loosely define it. So, but I thought these could be kind of fun. Except I feel like I botched that area over there. Wonder if I can do anything. Sorry about this. Sorry about that. So I'm going to try and use, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I can kind of soften things, kind of smear things around a little bit. So that's kind of neat. It definitely leaves, on paper, it leaves a very crayonish, grainy texture that can be somewhat smooth and blended using something like a cotton bud. You know, the thing we're not supposed to stick in our ears. So that's 2 of these down. I have 2 more and a liquid eyeliner to go. Okay, so we've got a few things left. I have this Wet n Wild Color Icon Shimmer Eye Pencil in copper. So copper will actually be a really, I hope, really perfect color for her hair and her eyes. Or I think if I can get it to go down on the paper, it will work. It's so soft. That's actually kind of hard to work with. Good thing I bought a sharpener. It also gets kind of gummy. And these smells are really nostalgic for me because they really remind me of when I was like a 14-year-old girl and I first bought any makeup. So I'm going to sharpen this off camera because I really don't want pencil shavings all over this. And let's see. Even though I've been spraying these, I'm still getting a lot of shimmer like all over my hands, which should not be surprising. This would be kind of interesting to try if you had like a big collection of, see, shimmer, 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 of like matte kind of makeups. Ooh, to sharpen this again because it is losing its point. And it is super soft. Like, I think this is supposed to be a eyeshadow pencil, not like an eyeliner pencil, which is kind of what I thought it would be. It is so soft though. Which isn't, oh, so soft it doesn't even want to go down. I think the tip just about broke off. It might be too warm in here with all the lights I have going on. I think that is indeed the problem, which is a shame because it's kind of like the perfect color considering her hair and her eyes. And I don't actually think it's a problem with the product, just a problem with the environment I'm trying to use it in. Maybe I should go pop it in the fridge or something. I'd hate to use all of it up on just trying to do her hair and eyes. See, it just smushes down immediately. You know what? I'm going to go put this in. I'll sharpen it and then I'll put it in the freezer. And I'll see if I can't get something a little bit better with this, because it's already gone pretty fast. Alright, I guess I will go fetch that towards the end. Let's check out the larger Wet n Wild color icon. Hopefully this one won't go as fast. I think it might though, because it's very, 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 very soft. So, actually, I will just go ahead and start using this, which I haven't even swatched. I don't have any idea. Ooh, okay. All right. Wow. That really brings me back to high school. Dang. Let's see what I'm able to do with this. I mean, this alone, you could like faux ink something and have basically completed this challenge. This is probably one of the easier things I've used. Even the form factor isn't really that bad. This has been definitely a weird experiment for me, especially since I don't really do a lot of the challenge videos unless I think there's something more that I can gain from doing it, like in terms of if learning a new technique or practicing something. And I've been doing so much sort of getting back to my basics, getting back to my roots. I thought this would be a really fun thing to do. And I knew I could get all the supplies cheaply. So I'm gonna ink this in time lapse, and I apologize that my leg is in the shot. And here's kind of a final shot of the finished piece. I apologize for the lighting. I have two very bright lights pointed at it. I'm working at night here. This has been a lot of fun. It's also been very frustrating, which is maybe why it's so fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and kind of enduring this along with me. I probably will not do another makeup challenge just because I don't know if I have anything interesting to add to this. Maybe if I dig up some really old makeup from when I was in high school, I might come back to this, because I think I had a lot of matte makeup back then, because that was what was in style. But I hope to see you guys again soon, and as always, it's really a pleasure to hang out with you guys. So I'll see you later. Bye.